The way your girl has been grinding is absolutely crazy. And we are unpacking that right now. So, welcome back to another episode of Unmuted. And listen, okay, this episode is all about pivots, like hard pivots. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up today is because there's so many of my clients who have come to me completely nervous about what they actually want to do versus what they think they should do, right? And I am so sick of us women, especially Black and brown women, shoulding on ourselves, not cussing, shoulding, right? You do the things that you do because you feel like you should do it. You went to school for something, so you should do whatever it is that you got that degree in, right? You've been in your industry for 10 years, so you should continue in it. You know that you hate this job, but because of the economy and all of the things, you should stay. These are horrible reasons to stay in your job, in your industry, in your field. Like, these are horrible reasons. But we have been conditioned to just take whatever and put our actual wants, our desires, our needs on the back burner and then wonder why we're so freaking miserable in our career, why we're so miserable every day waking up for work. And it may not even be that bad, right? Like it may not be on a dramatic, I wake up with dread type of thing. It may just be you're not as happy as you used to be. It may be you don't have the spark that you used to have. It may be that you're a little bit bored, right? But why should you settle? Why do you feel like you need to settle? Instead of settling for things that you don't want, figure out how to pivot. Okay, the economy sucks. Yeah, we know that, right? But people get jobs every day, B. So what's the difference between them and you? Why are you allowing that to stop you? Instead of making excuses because of fear, because of nervousness, because of imposter syndrome, or thinking you got to check every single box on a description or whatever. Instead of doing that, let's use facts over feelings. What are the facts? If you're wanting to get into a different industry, that's a complete 180. Okay, what do you already have that they're looking for? Is it the type of pivot where you would need to start from the bottom? And quite honestly, I don't even believe in starting at the bottom. Like if you position yourself properly, you won't need to start all the way at the bottom, right? But you might be pegged down a title or two. So what is what's missing? What are those requirements that are needed to be at the level that you want to be at? See what that deficit is, because it's probably not as big as you think it is. It's probably not as major as you think it is. And honestly, it might not even be something that you need to correct. Let me tell you something. I schmoozed my way into an HR role based on knowing how to position myself and vibes and prayer. Quite honestly. Like, no lie. I have 0 degrees. I have told y'all many times I'm a proud college dropout. I was still at the fairly beginning of my career, and I still got that job. Why? Because I understood what the difference was between I've been a workshop facilitator, writing resumes and doing interview prep versus people management and HR. There was no reason I should have got that job. Like, let's keep it a bean. There's no reason I should have gotten that job. And I totally get why they fired me. But that was 2 years later. And that was because the educational piece. I didn't know enough about HR. They knew that. I knew that. The way it went down was crazy. But I get it. Hindsight is 2020. I get it. But the point here is that I still was able to make my way through. So you have to figure out where you are now versus where you actually want to go based on your desires, based on your zone of genius. And I know I've explained zone of genius before, and there's a few different definitions, but my definition is what you love to do and what you're really freaking good at. If you hate data, but you're in a heavy data role, that's dumb. What are we doing? That's a complete mismatch. No wonder you're upset and miserable and don't want to be there. That ain't got nothing to do with your skill set. If I had to play around in Excel spreadsheets all day, my friend, if I had to do resumes all day, I would be miserable. I hate resumes. I hate them with every fiber of my being. So when I knew I needed to pivot, that was one of the first things I knew that needed to go. I said to myself, whatever job I get next, it must not contain resume writing. I can look over a resume, I can give you feedback, but I'm not going to do your resume. So you have to understand what is the difference between where you are and where you want to go. And this has really been something that I've been contemplating because, as y'all know, at this point, I think you know, that I've pivoted from just regular coaching to consulting. And it's still within promotion readiness and career development, leadership development, but it's a different animal for me. And listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm shaking in my boots. This is not something that I've done before. Yes, I've gotten jobs before, like that's nothing, but it's like this is a different level because now I have to speak the language of the employer. I'm so used to speaking on the level of the employee, right? What the employee needs, how the employee moves about. Now I have to talk about retention and internal mobility and all of these things that I feel like is completely over my head. Is that the fact? No, it's not a fact. It's a feeling. So it's something that I myself have been checking myself on over the last few weeks. But that ain't gonna stop me. We're getting positioned. We're gonna do what we gotta do because that's the goal that I want for myself. That's where the money is, quite honestly. I would rather create offers for employees that are lower cost and not something that you got to break the bank for when you already may not be at the financial level that you want to be at the salary you want to be in. And that's not to say that some of y'all ain't making bank. Some of y'all make some bank. However, I want my services to be super accessible, but I cannot do that unless my money source is coming from bigger pockets. And corporate is bigger pockets. So that is the pivot. That's the shift that I'm making in myself. And even in the offers that I've been making, I'm realizing that I have to be mobile. That's not the word I'm looking for. Mutable. I think mutable, where you can just kind of go with the flow. You can see what is changing and what's not, and just go with that. Yeah. Mutable is the word I was looking for. I just had to look it up. Mutable means something is capable of or prone to change. It describes entities, objects, or concepts that can be altered or modified after they are created. And that's what I am beginning to see for myself. And I didn't realize how rigid I've been in my career and in the expectations that I've set for myself. And I'm like, well, I continue to iterate this message, these emails that I'm writing to these organizations, to these people, and it's making me angry. But I realize this is part of the process. Part of B2B sales is understanding what you need to say to get to your audience, right? Sales psychology. Same thing that I teach employees on how to speak to employers, how to speak to their leadership team. So I'm constantly tweaking the message, but also looking for that balance of am I dipping into my perfectionism, or is this an actual change? Am I wasting time, or am I utilizing the time correctly? So it's a constant push and pull, but I'm learning to just go with the ebbs and flow of it because this is in the way that I'm able to get to where I want to go. Even with the offer that I made originally, I was doing a workshop or a workshop series just for employees. And then as I'm in the process of, uh, like, I created a proposal for a company, and they had asked me, okay, well, instead of it being for the employees, can it be for the leaders? So I had to pivot and make something for the leaders. And then after I made it, I said, wait, I can use this for my actual services. So instead of just sticking to the offer that I originally had because I liked it, I said, well, what makes more financial sense? Doing both and making it so that it's one system under one umbrella. So not only am I increasing my pockets, but I'm also increasing my thought leadership. I'm also showing how strategic I am in what I want to do and how I can help these companies, how I have a holistic, well-rounded solution rather than just one or two off workshops. Because ultimately, and I've been really thinking about the type of impact I want to make in these organizations. I want to be able to help restructure the infrastructure of these organizations to really value women of color that work there, not on a DEI flow, but on a, in a way, showing why women of color are valuable and what role they play in organizations and how they shouldn't play second fiddle, but actually they should be shown as the powerful leaders that they actually are. And I mean, I've gone over the stats with y'all before. I don't have to say it again, but just in case you haven't been listening to the other episodes, out of 100 men that get promoted, I think it's 74, 75 Black women, 60 something Latinas. I think it's like 80 something Asian women. And then when it comes to like Native American or, you know, South Pacific, the numbers are so small, or the study, should I say, the study numbers are so small that there's no impactful data on that. That's deplorable. That's absolutely deplorable. Where America is the melting pot, right? Where all the different immigrants have come from different countries after being forced to come here, right? When things became more open and people started seeing quote unquote America as a land of the free. But why can't we as women of color, start having that impact that we should? I mean, think about it, right? Women were only given the right to vote when in like the 40s or something like that. Oh, yeah. No, 20s. 20s. I I had a feeling this 20s, but I still said 40s. In the 20s, right? And that was white women. So the rights and the liberties that women of color have, it's not been long. It's not been long at all. People of color in general, but women of color specifically. My point here is this, not to depress you because of these stats, because it can be depressing. But the point here is that I see the bigger vision for myself, the kind of impact that I want to make. I live two lives, right? I live a life for the gospel where I preach the words of God. And, you know, I want to be the best Christian, the best daughter of God that I can be. But then also physically, I live a life where I want to make an impact on the women of color within the society, within the piece that I can control, which is career development, promotion development. And so instead of thinking, oh, I should just get a traditional job, I should just listen to my mama and do this and that. No, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing the things that make my soul happy. I'm doing the things that, without sounding cheesy, light me up. The things that give me energy, the things that I know, if given the chance, when given the chance, I can really do something great. And so even if your mission isn't that deep, right? Like, even if it's just, I just want to be able to earn my ducats and keep it pushing, that's okay. Like, I didn't get this mission that I have now until recently, quite honestly. So it doesn't have to be that deep. But my whole point is stop being so scared of pivoting and changing. Be mutable. Allow yourself to go with the ebbs and flows of your life. Who you were 5 years ago is not who you are now. Who you were 1 year ago is not who you are now. Who you are 6 months ago may not even be who you are now. So why should you stay in a stagnant career that reflects who you were years ago, months ago? You can listen to this and be like, I'm completely changed now. Stop letting fear control you. You are in the driver's seat of your career, no one else, you. So when you look back, it's July 2026. When you look July 2027 and you're still in the same place you were, who can you blame? Who has that onus? It's on you. Now, of course, there are things that we cannot control, but there are things that we can control. So what can you control that will take you out of shoulding yourself and make sure that you stay true to you? That's what I want to leave you with today. And listen, I've created what is called Unapologetically Promotable, where you get 12 audios for 21 days. And I'm going to show you how to understand your professional identity, what you want to be known for, what kind of reputation you want to make, how to stop looking at yourself from a lens of fear and doubt and listening to that inner critic, and how to be the most unapologetic, dope professional that you are, how to show up as the GOAT. Because a lot of y'all are already that, but you let doubt and fear have just too much control. You play the humble game where you think if you put your head down and you work hard and you don't make waves and you make sure everyone likes you, that's how you're going to get ahead in your career. But it's not. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. It may have worked early in your career, but as you climb up, it doesn't work anymore. And this isn't even just about wanting to be a leader, because some people genuinely don't want to be a leader. And that's okay. Like, not everyone needs to be a leader. But if you're trying to pivot in your career, if you're trying to do something different than what you're doing now, that needs a different identity. So I want you to join me. The link will be in the show notes. And I cannot wait to see how we both change, because this whole consulting thing is a very different animal than what I'm used to. Your girl is nervous, but we move through the nerves. We don't let that stop us. Anyway, y'all, I think I'm done yapping for the night. It's time for dinner. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, and I hope to see you in Unapologetically Promotable. Bye.